Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Double, and today it's a good day because it's NGD. You know what that means? A new guitar day, right? I hope you knew what that means because, yeah, okay. Anyway, about 2 years ago, I was one of the first people to open up a Feeeexed guitar. I looked on Amazon and I said, what is this guitar? And I searched on YouTube and there were no videos about it. Oh, well, okay, I'm going to get it and make a video about it. And that's that green one up there. It's been through some modifications. You can't buy it in that color. The 350, all I know is the numbers were that. I wanted to check out one of their newer ones. I've been in contact with Feeeexed. However, they did not send this. All of the thoughts about this will be mine. I really liked my old Feeeexed. Hopefully, I'm going to like this one. FDK 800 DJT. And we're going to check it out. One of the things that I loved about the other one was the gig bag. The gig bag was awesome. Oh, and there's some stuff in here. The instructions. I got a bag with a cleaning cloth, labeled Feeeexed, and a pick, and a tuner's in there. A little clip-on tuner. Check that out. I had no idea it was going to come with anything. I didn't realize I'd got a kit. This was on Amazon, and it's like generally almost always $50 off. So around $200 for this. Yeah, a little clip-on tuner. How about that? The other Feeeexed that I got was like $129, and that only has 22 frets, whereas I believe this one has 24. So you get a couple of picks, and you get a little cleaning cloth, and a high-quality audio cable. And you know what? It's not even one of those captive ones. It looks like it has solder ends. Yeah, and you can work on it if it gets bad. That's a good cable. Holy. So you got right angle on one side, straight on the other. So that's a big bonus. Always nice to have another cable and a strap, nylon strap. Gig bag is great. I do really dig the gig bag. I remember that much. I didn't love the bridge on the old Feeeexed, but that was about one of the only things that I really didn't love. So this one actually has a painted headstock. The other one that I have has had a slightly different headstock as well. And they do the whole thing where so that the strings don't scratch up the frets. Man, you can see a lot of reflection. This is glossy. The other one was a satiny kind of a finish. Not an amazing finish on the other one. This one is redonkulous looking. Good grief. The whole body has binding around the front. It's got the Feeeexed inlay at the 12th fret. And it's got like those hollow moon inlays. I'm looking at it, the action's maybe a little bit high. I might have to, yeah, the neck has just a little pull to it. I'll get it all tuned up and looked at. On the back, it has, of course, your control cavity area here. Oh, don't we love that? So neck plate on there. We'll do the old trick with it. Well, you know what I did with the other neck too? Is I added just a little stain, and it really brought out the flame. You can't really see that there's flaming. You can see that there's wood grain, but you can barely see that there's flaming in there. And if you do just a very mild stain, you can make that flame really come out and stand out. I can't believe this is a $200 guitar. It's a 2-point trem as opposed to the 6-screw vintage style trem. Potentiometers feel a lot better than on the 350. These are moving like actual potentiometers. Got a 5-way switch. So it says it's set to 2 millimeters. I would bet that's 2 millimeters, but I think that in travel it's raised up some. So I'm definitely going to have to give it a little care, a little bit of love. And I'm actually going to spend a little time with this. I'm not going to film the whole rest of this video right now. This is just the unboxing part. You will obviously see the rest of it here in a second, but I'm going to spend a week or so with this thing, testing it, working with some other products and things, and just kind of keep on using this. So you might have even seen this guitar already on the channel without me really talking about it. Nowhere near being in tune. Yeah, not in tune at all. That's not something you should expect either, okay? But just always fun to check. So yeah, I got to add a little relief. But all those saddles are up really high right here. All these bridge saddles, all these string saddles are just really high. What I had to do with the 350 was lower them all and then sand the screws down. These are Allen key screws, and they kind of poked up into my palm. So once I leveled them and got this set to the right point on the other bridge, I really had no problems with it. It's not currently set to float. It's set back against the body too. So I probably will end up loosening the springs a little bit. Anyway, it's going to get some tweaking. It's going to get some work. It's going to get some loving. Just keep watching while just sitting here getting this thing tuned up with the included tuner. These tuners are way improved compared to the 350 that I got a couple years ago. They're grabbing, they're moving, they're reacting. They're not slipping once I get to the note, and the ratio feels real good. It's probably not like a super high ratio, but I feel like it's at least 18 to 1. Really holding the notes once I get there too. Now that I have tuned it up and done some work to it, the bridge is starting to float. It is starting to come off of the body. Now that I've got it to standard. So let me pop the trem in just to see how it feels. So this is a screw-in trem as opposed to the other one that I had, which was an insert, a push-in. So let's see, it looks like, come on. Is this trim too big? The trim they gave me doesn't fit in the hole. What? Oh, there it goes. Okay, you gotta kind of get it at a little bit of a lean back angle, it looks like. Oh, very, very stiff going in. I like that. It sits right where you want it. Oh, got a little warble even. I could probably loosen them up, but just a little bit of a string warble going on. And enough there to back it up and do the old Vi thing back there. Oh man, that feels real good. There's no play in the trim. It's as soon as I move the bar, that bridge is moving. Very reactive. That's what I like about a 2-point trim too. It looks set up well. Like I said, these all are raised a little bit. I've brought the strings down to a little bit more of a tolerable angle, and the neck is definitely flat now. But I do need to it does look like after straightening the neck out that I will need to bring these down just a little bit. It's nowhere near in tune yet, but just wanted to give my thoughts on my first impressions of tuning it up.
One hour later. What'd you do?
I'll tell you what I did. Day one, I put that tremolo bar in so darn hard and so darn low, it just kept on spinning. And, I really did a lot of work on those bridge saddles, the string saddles, and set this thing up so well. But after playing with it a little while longer, I realized I messed it up. Anyway, here's a look inside the cavity. The volume pot placement requires a small potentiometer, so I couldn't use the harness that I bought from GFS along with those pickups. The volume pot was just a little too large to use without routing out some of the wood from the body. And of course, my trem bar is stuck in there. Here's my solution, and I have spent about 30 days figuring out what I'm going to do. This is the Wilkinson Go-To Trem.
It's not just the regular Wilkinson, it has a lot more adjustability, or I guess one more point of adjustability. As well, it has a flat area so that it'll help compensate for any size differences, and has just the right fit to go into this. Comes with everything you need. I didn't use the springs, and all of the pickups are going to go. So I'm breaking my rules. I usually would not spend as much on replacement parts as the guitar is worth. Like if it's a $200 guitar, I usually wouldn't do much more than $100 worth. But here are 3 different pickups from guitarfetish.com. Some quick plug single coils, and they're noiseless. And then I got the vintage extra hot humbucker. I've used this in another guitar and I really liked it. Everything here is with their quick plug system, and you basically get a lead and it just pops right into the pickup. And then you can either use their system, which has those leads coming right from the pots and the selectors, or you use this one here, which I ended up having to do, and rewiring it all to your harness. Even comes with a ground wire connector if you're going to use their whole system. But I couldn't use it. Just the volume pot alone was going to require too much changes to the guitar. So I'm going to put that aside and use that in another build, I guess. Now I'll have to do something else, but it is high quality. I did buy the slightly more, it was like $2 or $3 more for the better parts, but everything is really well soldered. Pots are bigger. And I'll put some sizing up on here because, see, since this guitar doesn't have a pick guard, the pots had to be a little bit longer. So all around, those potentiometers wouldn't work. I'll put some of their sizing that they gave me for their pots. And then you have to be real careful when you're messing with these. They recommend that you grab them from the connectors. They just pop in. But the potentiometers, there's a few different sizes. And as you can see from what was on the screen, you should kind of do some measurements. Now, I didn't like the white pickup covers that it came with, and fortunately I have some black ones kicking around from just previous builds, and they did fit right on. The pole spacing was just right, so I got a little bit lucky there. GFS does offer the option on some of their pickups to have white and black pickups. I think the SBS line for Steve Brown Sound stuff all has that option, and then of course they also have those replacement covers available for purchase if you do buy some of their single coils. But these are noiseless and they're a little hot. I did have some trouble with the middle pickup and I'm still kind of tweaking it out. It's not like I play real high gain on the middle pickup, but I noticed that the middle pickup just kind of was a little too hot. They did give me some tips that I'll get into later on because it wasn't just wax potting. The tuners, even though I didn't need to replace the tuners, I decided this was just the right price. Came with everything that I needed, and they're staggered. So the 19, all those numbers in there show you the post height. So the shorter ones are going to go all the way to the end of the headstock for the skinnier strings. The slightly taller ones are going to go closer to the nut. And that's all really well explained in their manual, and including how to set it up and what the options are if you have certain screw holes, this or that. The screw holes didn't line up, so I opted to not screw any extra holes into the headstock, and I used their bracket system that they have. And in a minute or so, we'll hear some playing examples. I'll include a little bit from before and after. I'm really happy with the way it came out. I do love the look of a chrome and then 2 black single coils like that. The bar, you do wind it in to its position on the post, and then it can tighten all the way down, or you can back it off a little bit. But you can't just pull it right out. You do have to unwind it all the way. So it's kind of a combo thing. It's got an insert and screw thing going on. I did actually manage to get the other bar out of the original stock Trem system. I feel like it's just a little too big, or the hole for it on the base plate is just a little too small. Just be advised, it's a great bridge if you do those mods that I did to it, but this one is literally half the price of the guitar, so it's a high quality bridge. They do have Wilkinson bridges, about $40 or so. I added a push-pull pot, so this tone is going to the bridge. This tone is going to these two pickups, and the volume is stock, but I'll probably change that one out to a slightly better one, and also change out that switch as well as that middle tone, just to kind of make them all even, because right now they're just the bridge tone moves really smoothly and splits the humbucker, but it just is really smooth now, and the other two seem better than the 350, my original one, but I'll probably just do that eventually one day. Tuners came out great. They're easy. They're so easy to use. I mean, I'm a locking tuner fan. They are staggered, so I probably could get rid of the string trees. You can see that the holes are still visible, and, you know, just whatever. I don't care. And it came out good up here. It stays in tune pretty well so far. At this point, during the demo, I did have a little bit of struggling with just getting it all to stay in tune because the bridge was still settling. Everything was still kind of settling, but I tried to chop all those parts out, and hopefully everything that I record here in the after section of the video is, you know, sounding pretty good. No sprout at all. I had nothing going on here on the board. The neck didn't shrink down. The frets all still feel really good. The only other thing that I had to do is this middle pickup was squealy, like I said. And so they recommended using some foam or something like that to get it off the body. Here's a quick look at the bridge route. This was the only other kind of issue that I have, is that the placement, I just wish there was a little bit more length on each one of these pickups for where those easy plugs connect, but it is the way it is, and I did manage to find a good placement where that bridge pickup fit into that route. My only other finding, and I did this before, but I'm just showing you here, there were a couple of high frets. I'm not sure if I could tap them down or what. Let's hear some before and after with all the pickups. And while these are currently unavailable, if you go to fesleymusic.com and check out their inventory, you will see that this is on pre-order, as well as their upgraded version of the original 350 that I got, their FDK 400, I believe it's called. Also on Amazon, you'll find this guitar and a lot of their other guitars packaged with some of their other guitar-related products. They have wireless, they have little mini practice amp, and they have that really fantastic multi-effects unit that I did see this once paired with. All the links that I can find, I'll leave below. Please like the video if this is your kind of thing. Subscribe if you dig the channel. This is Double. I'll see you next time.